Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to episode 55. Gathering enough crowns to pay the cart maker for his work did cost you an arm and a leg, quite literally in some cases. Now the proud owner of a new wagon, you're able to carry more equipment and more spoils of war. Be it silverware and golden crowns, or the half-torn and lice-filled gambeson of a random thug. After traveling the first few miles with the new wheels, you notice that Rowan Church seems to be missing. Looking around, you eventually find him hidden behind some grain bags on the wagon, snoring away peacefully. Some cold water to the head and a boot to the butt quickly get the sluggard back on his feet and walking like the others. Still, you make sure the men know their place. I won't have any of this. The only way any one of the Retcon Raiders will ever find himself on this wagon is carrying his own head under the arm. Be ever watchful, and have your arms at the ready when we travel these lands. The men grumble, and continue on. And that finally nets us our long overdue wagon. It cost us 5,000 gold, but in return it gets us some renown, some morale, and about 20 extra inventory spaces. It was expensive, but I think it was well worth it, and it will basically pay for itself with extra loot down the line. At any rate, we're running pretty low on supplies, so we should probably start heading back to town. Looking at our current provisions, we might actually be cutting it pretty close, so let's double time it. And we're back. We've made it about halfway to Firthwacht, and we're definitely running low on food here. Fortunately, we spotted this group of Noxer that we can kill real quick. It won't give us any supplies, but it will give us a boost to morale, and that will slightly offset the penalty if we do end up running out of food. Okay, looks like we're up against 19 Noxer. From what I'm seeing so far, it's predominantly the smaller, weaker Noxer, with a single medium Noxer mixed in. There's a bit of scattered cover for them to use, but honestly I don't think this will be very hard. We just have to make sure that we don't lose track of the corpses. We can handle 2, maybe 3 large Noxer, but if it gets any worse than that, then we're in trouble. We've got a few more medium Noxer coming in on the south, and one on the north. Let's start shooting to wound. Or to kill, that's fine too. Fox drops a Noxer, punctures another Noxer's lung, and shoots a third Noxer in the gut. We'll just start going for killing shots now. We'll have our frontliners move up aggressively. Potato drops a wounded Noxer, then pierces another one's chest. Mark kills the gut shot Noxer, then kills another Noxer as well. Eraton readies his throwing axes and slices open a Noxer's arm. I got lunges forward, poising himself above a fallen Noxer. Dominic quickly follows behind him. Kazarin moves up as well, blocking off even more arrow-riddled Noxer corpses. Reinhard moves up and engages. Rondis rushes forward, stabbing a Noxer in the chest and breaking its morale. Round 2. The Noxer get a brief chance to fight back here. Fortunately, we're mostly looking at small Noxer here, so it's unlikely that any of them will be able to get through our armor. Yeah, that went pretty smoothly. Alright, archers are back up. Fox puts an arrow through a Noxer's leg. Bunny puts additional arrows through its arm and chest. And Potato finishes it off, before shooting another Noxer through the neck. Woe is up. He cuts down a medium Noxer. then pierces the leg of another. I got readies great axe. Oh, but he can't land a hit. Rowan is up. He moves forward and fires through the ranks. Gut wounding one of the Noxerer. Kazarin tears into a medium Noxerer. Dominic cuts down a gut shot Noxerer. Eraton moves up and hurls a throwing axe into a Noxerer's arm. Reinhard stabs a Noxerer through the neck, then pierces its chest with his spear. Rondis slaughters a broken Noxerer, then moves up and breaks the morale of another. Moving into round 3. The Noxerer once again get a chance to tear into us. Though it mostly looks like they're just shuffling towards corpses. I just took a very minor hit. And our archers are back up. Bunny puts an arrow through a Noxerer's shoulder, then cuts it down with her second shot. Fox puts an arrow through a Noxerer's shoulder as well, and then also finishes it off with a second shot, before putting an arrow through another Noxerer's face. Rowan reloads and fires through the ranks, finishing off a wounded Noxerer. Mark Richards moves up to get a better shot. Actually, I'm not sure he'll be able to get a shot here. We'll just bring him all the way up. Woe lashes out, cutting down a wounded Noxerer. Potato moves up. Kazarin slices open a Noxerer's face, then punctures its chest. Eraton hurls the last of his axes, then moves up to engage. I cuts down one. Just one Noxerer. Better than nothing. Reinhard moves up and punctures a Noxerer's foot. Dominic readies his spear. Cuts down another Noxerer, then moves up to engage the back line. Rondis pierces a wounded Noxerer's shoulder with his dagger. And moving into round 4. Rondis takes a very minor hit. Bunny and Fox move up. Mark steps forward, fires through the ranks, but can't land a hit. Potato cuts down one of the smaller Noxerer. Here comes Fox. Rowan reloads. Then cuts down another wounded Noxerer. Woe tears down a medium Noxerer. Reinhard stabs through a Noxerer's hand, then kills it with his second strike. And everyone's converging on the last of the Noxerer. Eraton readies his spear and moves up, getting first blood on our final foe. Kazarin flanks it from the other side, striking it twice. Rondis cuts into it, then readies his greatsword, and lops its head from its shoulders. Looks like Eraton just hit level 7. And MVP goes to Woe and Potato with 3 kills each. We'll collect our teeth, and now we need to get back to Firthwacht. I guess we'll try our luck at the Stirring Crypt. Can't imagine there's food in there, but it can't hurt to check. Well, here we are at the Stirring Crypt. Our scouts don't know what's inside, but I'm guessing it's probably either Wiedergangers or Noxerer. So let's get in there and check it out. Okay, that is definitely Wiedergangers. And a single Geist down there, though there's probably more hiding in the fog of war. I might have to fast forward this battle a little bit, but at a glance it looks like the majority of these are weaker, unarmored Wiedergangers, so they should go down relatively easy. That may actually make this a pretty good fight for bulking up our body counts and gaining a bit of experience. We'll just need to keep an eye out for any signs of fallen heroes or necromancers. That could be a... No, that's not a fallen hero. Okay, there's a lot of enemies here, but I think we're actually looking pretty good. Let's start cutting these guys down with some arrow fire, and then we'll mulch them once they actually reach our front line. Wojtek cuts down a zombie, then softens up 2 more. Potato cuts down another zombie, and starts whittling away at one of the armored Wiedergangers. Mark cuts down a 3rd zombie. Yeah, the trick here is that we want to maximize the number of attacks our archers get, so it's important for them to get at least 1 kill so they can get an extra attack, but then they need to weaken another target so the next archer can also get a kill, and so on. That way our archers can keep firing as efficiently as possible. Wojtek cuts down a Wiederganger, softens up another, and another. This is going to get a bit repetitive, but it's good experience points, and who knows what we might find as loot. Potato cuts down a Wiederganger approaching our front line. Our men will hold steady for the moment. We'll let the zombies come to us. Mark is up. He cuts down the closest zombie, and fires off a few more shots for good measure. Kazarin will... Nah. I could have them set their... Oh, never mind. I was about to say that I didn't think the zombies were close enough yet to set spears, but we've got contact on our front line now. I guess we might as well just start cutting our way through them then. Rondis is up. He gleefully wades into battle. Readying his greatsword, he tears through the horde, badly damaging the armored Wiederganger in front of him. The last of the Wiedergangers wade into battle. And I'm guessing these other 4 foes are all Geists, who are now starting to drift into battle as well. Those are the guys we're going to need to be careful with. Roderick is up. He tears through the foe in front of him, then moves up to engage another, cutting that one down as well. Henry lashes out, tearing the chain off of a zombie. Belfontaine moves up, cutting into another zombie. Igot moves up alongside Reinhard, chipping away at a Wiederganger's helmet. Vlad moves up behind Reinhard and Igot, preparing for next round. And round 3. A few of the slain Wiederganger begin shambling back to their feet. And the Geists swoop in ever closer. Belfontaine is frightened, but not broken. Alessandro cuts down a Wiederganger, then a second one as well, before wounding a third. Wojtek cuts down 2 more. Henry tears into a Wiederganger. Vlad does as well. Potato fires through the ranks, cutting down the zombie on Kazarin, then badly damaging another. Roderick moves up, readying his greatsword. almost cutting a zombie in half, and Bellefontaine quickly finishes it off. Aigat will take a quick shot with his dagger, then switch off to his great axe for a follow-up attack. But he misses. There's a few light shield hits, nothing to worry about. Reinhard tears into an armored Wiederganger, but can't quite finish it off. Mark is up. He fires into the horde, doing a bit of damage to an armored Wiederganger. Kazarin quickly moves up to engage a Geist. He readies his dagger and cuts it down, then moves up to engage another, destroying that one as well. Very nice. Rondis is up. He crushes an armored Wiederganger, then moves up to engage two others. Henry starts advancing. And moving into round 4. More Wiedergangers return to unlife. And the Geists begin screaming. Aigat is broken. Roderick cleaves through a row of Wiedergangers, decapitating one of them. Henry starts moving up towards the center of the formation, fires off a rallying cry. But it's not enough to get Aigat back into the fight. I guess he's just too far away. Our archers start clearing out the Wiedergangers around Aigat. If he's going to retreat, we want to make sure he's clear to do so. Vlad cuts down one of the armored Wiedergangers, and another. Aigat takes a minor armor hit, as does Roderick. Kazarin readies his spear, tearing into an armored Wiederganger. Rondis just took a minor hit. Reinhard tears down an unarmored zombie. Potato tries to pick off the last zombie on Aigat. Oh, but he's too exhausted to fire another shot. Mark sinks a couple of arrows into the armored Wiederganger, but it's not quite enough. Rondis readies his greatsword, decapitating a Wiederganger, but he's too exhausted to do a proper follow-up. Aigat breaks from combat, taking a few hits in the process. Round 5. More zombies jump back into the fight, and the Geists scream again, breaking Rondis and badly damaging Vlad's morale. Henry rallies the men, bringing Rondis back into the fight. Wojtek fires 2 arrows into the nearest Wiederganger, dropping it back to the ground. Then tags a second Wiederganger. Reinhard took a minor hit. Bellefontaine cuts down one of the freshly risen zombies. Alessandro mows one down as well. Roderick's helmet deflects a blow. Vlad impales the zombie threatening him, then lashes out at another. Kazarin continues wearing down an armored zombie. Potato fires a couple of arrows into one as well. Mark switches off to his second quiver and becomes too exhausted to fire another shot. Reinhard is still holding the north. Roderick crushes one Wiederganger, but he's still faced with another. And there goes Aigat. I guess, for once, he doesn't actually have this. Rondis practically cleaves the zombie in half. Unfortunately, that's not enough to actually put it out of the fight. Round 6. 2 more zombies in the fight. And a little more morale damage, but nothing too bad. Henry readies his banner, moves up, and rallies once more. Belfontaine tears into an armored Wiederganger. Potato continues firing into the horde, dropping another armored Wiederganger. Then he takes a moment to recover. Wojtek cuts down a Wiederganger and runs out of open targets. He'll need to move up closer. There we go. He fires through the ranks and lands another shot. Kazarin finishes off the last foe on the south side, then moves up to engage a Geist. Vlad tears down the last zombie on the north, then starts advancing on a Geist as well. He readies his dagger and destroys the Spectre with one decisive blow. Well done. Alessandro moves up, fires through the ranks, and cuts down 2 zombies. Mark takes a pot shot at a Geist, but no luck there. Roderick moves up, readying his dagger, and he kills the last of our foes. The fight dragged a little, but it wasn't too bad. Wojtek and Alessandro tie for MVP, with Roderick as a close second. And the loot is... oh, well that's not terrible. We pulled about 1,200 gold worth of loot. We can use that male coif, too. We'll grab everything and keep heading back to Firthwacht. We're cutting it close, but hopefully we can make it. An old man sitting and smoking a pipe regards your company with a long, hazy stare. Mercenaries, eh? There'll be a lot of good work for you in the coming days. You ask what he means. He cleans the pipe, clattering it against his cheer. Oh, you know, the feather-wearing noblefolk are peacocking again. War's coming, no doubt about it. Can't let all this good weather go to waste. Good to know. Well, that clinches it. We're definitely heading into the Noble War event. Of the 3 crisis events, that's probably the easiest one, and it will get us the best loot, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. Now we're cutting it really, really close here. Okay, we made it back with exactly 1 provision to spare. Now let's sell off all this loot and stock back up on supplies. And welcome back. I wanted to mount another expedition into the wildlands, but with the Noble War about to start, we can't afford to stray too far. Instead, I guess we'll be wrapping up the episode by wiping out another flock of Noxerer. 14 Noxerer. Well, you know the drill by this point. We're going to soften them up with some arrow fire and then move up to cover up any corpses we create. This shouldn't take too long. It's basically some quick and easy experience points, which we're definitely going to need now that we know we're headed into our second crisis. I see 3 medium Noxerer in the mix. No, make that 4. And our archers are up. Alessandro takes off a ghoul's ear, then impales its hand. Bunny finishes off the wounded Noxerer, then pierces another one's side and arm. Fox impales a Noxerer's hand. And Bunny pierces a Noxerer's kidney. And we've got a large Noxerer to deal with. Rowan cuts down a small Noxerer, then fires a follow-up shot into the hulking Noxerer bringing up the rear. Eraton breaks a Noxerer's morale with a throwing axe. Our spearmen ready their spears. And moving into round 2. The ghouls continue swarming forward, greedily squabbling over the remains of their 2 fallen brethren. Our archers are back up, so they continue firing into the pack. Alessandro cuts one down, then impales another one's arm and chest. Fox puts an arrow through a ghoul's hand, then kills it with a second shot, before impaling another Noxerer's arm. Bunny cuts down the one-armed Noxerer, then shoots two other Noxerer through their leg and shoulder respectively. Wajtek kills a wounded Noxerer, gut shots a second, then finishes it up with a third shot. The rest of our line starts to move up. Roderick is the first to engage, cutting down a ghoul with his dagger. Rowan reloads his crossbow, takes a shot at the large Noxerer, but misses. Eraton slices open a Noxerer's arm with a throwing axe. Then Rondis quickly moves up to engage it, impaling it through the hand as well. Dominic moves up, readying his dagger, and stabbing it through a Noxerer's arm. Kazarin engages their south line, breaking the Noxerer's morale, and driving his dagger into one of their sides. One of the Noxerer breaks from combat, fleeing. Woe moves up in preparation for next round, and round 3. A Noxerer tries to run, only to be cut down. Another one attempts to flee as well, suffering multiple hits. Alessandro shoots down a wounded Noxerer. Fox sinks a couple of arrows into the massive Noxerer near the back. Bunny puts another arrow into that Noxerer as well. Roderick quickly pursues one of the fleeing ghouls, plunging his dagger into its back. Wajtek continues whittling away at the large Noxerer. Woe cuts down the last of the small Noxerer, then begins pursuing another one that's fleeing. And Kazarin moves up to pin that Noxerer down. Rondis starts moving north. Dominic backs him up. Eraton readies his spear and moves to join battle as well. The Noxerer on the south continues to flee, but takes a few more dagger strikes in the process. The large Noxerer heals back up to full health, devouring one of its kin. Our archers bombard it with another volley of arrows. Unfortunately, our archers don't have much luck. Roderick cuts down the Noxerer in his way, then moves up to engage the largest of them. Our archers start maneuvering forward. Rondis moves up to join Roderick. Kazarin locks down another fleeing Noxerer, finishes it off, and starts doubling back to help the others. Reinhard joins the battle, closely followed by Eraton and Dominic. At this point, we just need to lay into this thing. It should be dead fairly quickly, but it's probably going to swallow someone before then. Roderick slices open its leg with his greatsword. And, Reinhard the Survivor was just devoured whole. Don't worry, Reinhard, we'll have you out of there in a second. Alright, men, just try not to stab this thing in the stomach. Rondis carves away with his dagger, but then switches off to a larger blade. He decapitates the thing, and Reinhard claws his way back up its throat. Welcome back. Looks like Eraton is... oh, no, I forgot to take care of his level up after the last battle. But MVP goes to Roderick and Wojtek, who each got 3 Noxera kills. Good work, guys. At this point, I think we're going to head back down toward Weedmark and Gronenfest. Unfortunately, with the Noble War right around the corner, we really shouldn't stray too far from House Rabenholt's territory. Hey, RetconRaider here. Today may not have been the most exciting of our sessions, but I think it was still eventful enough to keep things interesting. We cut down 2 flocks of Noxera, raided a haunted cemetery, finally got our hands on a proper wagon, and got word of an impending war between the noble houses. Like I said earlier, of the 3 crisis events, the Noble War is probably the easiest. That's not to say it's actually going to be easy, just that it's not going to be as murderously difficult as fighting off an entire greenskin invasion, or the Fallen King's Skeletal Legion. Even better, once the fighting starts, we should have ample opportunity to pick off a few noble patrols or rival mercenary groups, which will quickly give us access to significant armor and weapon upgrades for our frontliners. Unfortunately, it does mean that we're going to have to delay our expedition into the wildlands, at least for now. As soon as the war starts, House Rabenholt will be offering up some pretty lucrative contracts, so we want to be sure we're ready to take advantage of them. Besides, after shelling out 5,000 gold for that new wagon, we could really use some more coin. That means that next time we'll be checking around for some more contracts, so we can earn some gold and kill some time until war is officially declared. After that, well, then the Retcon Raiders will finally get their chance to actually do a bit of raiding for a change. I'm definitely looking forward to that. But for now, this is RetconRaider, signing off. Thanks for watching. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Battle Brothers, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website or the FanRun wiki. Links are in the description.